Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Dog Hollow. And what I had intended to be just a regular pre recorded video for YouTube on Practical Magic with a focus on air this month because the new moon is going to be in Gemini, which is an air sign, has gone awry. So, I got pine shavings in my hair. I got pine shavings in my hair because I have been taking care of chicks for yesterday and today, and it's been a little bit of a journey, which has taken up a lot of our time today. And plus, I had to go out into the world today and ship package, get feed for the chicks because when the eggs are hatched outside with the mom, she takes care of everything. But when they have to be inside, you're responsible for them. So I had to go get chick feed and some extra feeders because I do have a gosling that's recovering and needs a heat lamp and feeders on the back porch. I have chicks at my mother-in-law's house, 16 of them that need heat lamp feeders and so on. And then the eggs that we have been hatching, two of them successfully so far, also need a heat lamp for the eggs and a heat lamp for the chicks. So we needed to go buy some more things to support this endeavor. And then while we were at the feed store getting chick feed, we got more chicks. So that's where we are with that right now. Anyway, to put a long story short, what I had intended to pre-film and add onto my YouTube channel, I am going to do live. So today we're going to be talking about the next segment in my Practical Magic series, which is air magic. Um, Air magic was a little bit challenging for me because air magic overlaps with nearly every other magic. It centers around speech, breath, communication, the written word, and most of our other workings involve those things as well. So to get a spell that I consider almost entirely air magic was actually a little bit challenging for me, not because I couldn't think of anything, but because I have so many ideas, it was hard to focus on one, and also because so many of the air magic things that I do are very simple, off the cuff workings. So, like, for example, affirmations, I believe prayer, um, breathing exercises, using your breath in different ways, wind magic, which is a very particular thing that I only do when it's windy. And it hasn't been windy, it's been raining. So that's kind of where we are. So the structure of this is going to be a lot like the um, Practical Magic video, but not quite. So the last one was about plant magic, which is very direct. You have a plant or a seed that you are going to plant with your intention, and it's going to be a magic that grows with the plant. It's very visual. It involves like very specific devotion. You have a set parameter of things that you have to do to accomplish a plant magic spell, and the health and the outcome of your plant typically correlates with your intention. So very direct. For an air magic spell, air is very like um, volatile, ephemeral, and quick. So while I would think of earth as slow, things need time to grow. Earth is slow moving. It's a slower, stronger in some ways magic. But of course, air magic can be very powerful as well. I mean, think about tornadoes and hurricanes are also wind. And back in ancient days, people thought breath of titans and such. So what I did intend to focus on was wish magic, because almost every type of wish magic that we do as human beings in American culture, I can't speak for every culture, but many examples come to mind of wish magic that we use specifically our breath for. For example, blowing a dandelion, or if you were blowing out your birthday cake candles, if you were to find an eyelash on your face or whatnot, or stuck in your other eyelashes, you would make wish. Um, I do that with ladybugs. It's lots of different um, types of wish magic are correlated with air magic, so to speak. So to that extent, that's what this is going to be about. That's what I intend to do with it. If you didn't see it yesterday, I did a Get Ready With Me. So GRWM, Get Ready With Me, for the new moon in Gemini. And that's basically going to be a new moon about communication, relationships, um, and starting workings related to those things: reading, writing, learning, divination, communication, those kind of things. And so what I had wanted to work on for the next approximately 6 months is things that involve other people. And so for my personal ethical beliefs, I don't think that a working should be directed on other people. It, there is plenty of room, if you so choose, to do an air magic spell that focuses on working on yourself for those topics, right? To be a better studier, to be a better speaker, to communicate more effectively, to be a more effective communicator in your relationships, to speak your truth more. Those are all things that you could do air magic for on this Gemini new moon, to on yourself. So for me, I, not to be arrogant, but I communicate fairly well, um, almost all the time. I have really good relationships. I'm done studying for at least 3 months, so I'm not going to focus on that right now. And I, reading and writing come very naturally and pleasurably to me. So what I had wanted though was to attract um, things like relationships and friendships that would go with my long-term goals, right? That's my idea for this new moon. And so I think that for me to not put out there energy that might be controlling or compelling to others to do what I'm hoping for, I'm going to frame it in the form of wish. I wish for this to happen to me. I'm going to put in the work. I'm putting the energy out there that this is what my wish is. And we shall see what comes of it in the next 6 months. Because when I do a new moon spell, I don't expect to see it to come to fruition until the full moon in that same sign, which is November 30th of this year. So, that being said, I'll do a little blurbs on air magic, and hopefully you will think of something that you would like to do. And I will get information about what I want to do. Because one of the best things about my channel is, so I feel like I've been actively practicing for at least 20 years now, right? And in one way or another. And at first, you're learning, you're gathering information, you're doing a lot of imitating, you're doing a lot of learning. And then, you move on to phases where you're reviewing similar topics in different ways. And then finally, I think one of the things that we have to circle back to really solidify our education and our knowledge. Hi, Leanne. It's okay. It was impromptu, so you're right on time. Is that we teach. So it is in my opinion, and everything on this channel is my opinion. So if you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. And we can have a wonderful, respectful debate. But if you talk shit to me, it's probably not going to go anywhere. I am not the one. But I would love to debate or discuss. So my personal belief is that in magic, hi Lori, in magic, in everything, in all things in life, once we have gotten to a point where we are very efficient, we should start teaching others. Number one, it helps you. The best way to absolutely know a topic frontwards and backwards is to teach it. And the second thing is that we have our progeny, our descendants, the people who are going to live our lineage down, whether it be our blood lineage or just our beloved witchlings, our future witches, our future pagans, our human beings who magic belongs to. If we don't share that knowledge, they don't have it. It shouldn't be, we should never try to be doorkeepers or gatekeepers or whatever the phrase is where we just eat our young up. And it's not just witches, nurses do that too. I'm looking at you, nurses, you do that too. Let's stop doing that. This is something that benefits all of us. So once you have that knowledge, share it. If we don't agree, great. Because most of the time, unless I'm doing something illegal or not safe, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with me. So I've got this knowledge. I want to share it. We're going to do some learning. If you like it, great. Take that with you, grow on it. If you don't like it, water off a duck's back. That's totally fine too. So that being said, we're going to talk about practical magic. And the reason I say practical magic is that I am not a full-blown ritual kind of girl. I do believe that our ancestors of every single type of human being on earth, because I don't believe that witchcraft belongs to Wiccans or European people of European descent. It certainly does part of your culture, but it's part of everybody's. All people everywhere have some form of magic. So magic is a human birthright. It's for everybody. And witchcraft is for everybody too. So if you want to, if it's not for you, don't do it. You can call it magic, you can call it prayer, you can call it whatever feels best for you. But what I'm saying here is I call it practical magic because I think historically, if we were really to go back in time and look at most practitioners of magic in history from the dawn of humanity, we would see small things done with very specific intent and manifestation that is no less magical for the lack of extravagance and show. Do we love extravagance and show? Girl, you should see my witchcraft collection. I love it. But most of the time, when it comes down to it, the things that I do habitually, regularly, and have the strongest impact in my life are simple, practical things that literally anybody can do. You can go to church and love Jesus and do a plant spell. There's nothing wrong with focusing your energy and intention on something and letting it grow. Intention setting and manifestation is for everybody, and it doesn't matter what your background is. So practical magic for everybody. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. So air magic is very practical for all people of all background because it's literally your breath, your words, your communication, your thoughts, right? I like this book. Probably because it's one of the first books I got when I was 18. But I think that as far as the very basics of nearly any topic, she covers fairly well. So I just want to talk about really briefly. She has a segment called Operations that have to do with the element of air, which is to say, in my opinion, air magic. If I'm not seeing commentary, by all means, let me know. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open it on my phone too, because sometimes I don't see comments for a while up here and it kind of stifles the conversation. So, oh Lord, it's commercial when you click on my thing. I always get surprised by that. Hi, see, I can't even see Amber. Hi, thank you so much for coming. So I'm going to just have this running here because I can't see comments very quickly. And so it's kind of stifled. Anyway, air. Let's just briefly go review air. So zodiacs. Libra is beginning because Libra is the zodiac sign that is a cardinal air sign, meaning that it's at the beginning of the season, which is fall. So Libra is the zodiac sign of air that has to do with beginnings. Aquarius is the zodiac sign of air that has to do with fixed. It's the height of winter. It's a fixed zodiac sign. So then Gemini is the air sign, which is mutable. And that's where we are. So we're talking about transitions. We're talking about literally the changing of spring into summer, or if you're a Southern Hemisphere witch, of the changing of fall into winter. So we're in a changing time. Hi, Opal Moon. Yay! I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in one of these for a while. Okay, so colors are blue and yellow, depending on your tradition. And that is actually so different for so many people. If you are Native American, it's different. If you're um, I mean, and even among Native Americans of different tribes had different colors. Just look at their medicine wheel. I am a camp nurse at a Native American summer camp for children, and every year they gift me beautiful handmade jewelry, which is a deep part of my heart. And they made me a medicine wheel one, which the color correspondences are nothing like what you consider in like traditional Wicca, which is cool. And then obviously I am very into Asian cultures, and their elements are even different. But even then, directionally, their color correspondences are different as well. So just depending on what your background associates with air. For this book, she is Wiccan, so that's what she associates with it. Usually, the athame and incense are considered tools um, that are for the air element, and then different. So, the guardian or angel of air, Chasan, Cosmoron, Cherub, Ishmael. Um, so, whoa, there's a lot. So things that have to do with air. So just altitudes, announcements, birds, communication and protection from harmful words and thoughts. Dawn, doves, dreams. Dreams is another super heavy magic that I do. But I think for dream magic as it relates to air, I'll do something about that in the dark half of the year because I feel like that's really when I'm so receptive to those messages. Free will, grace, hurricanes, intellectual achievements, invention, memory and tolerance, moderation, noonday winds, the north wind, pure wisdom, knowledge, learning, philosophy, meditation, positive thoughts, prayers, protection for libraries, archives, places of learning, and computers, purity, secrets and hidden knowledge, sky, storms, thunder, truth, twilight, whirlwinds, winds, and writing. And then she lists different guardians for each of those topics, but I'm not going to get into that. Just to suffice to say that those topics come under the umbrella of air. Deities are Hermes, Mercury, which they're consider. I mean, Hermes is Greek and Mercury is Roman, but they kind of evolved. Rome kind of took over and kind of added their spin on it. Shu is Egyptian, and then they have different goddesses or gods, deities of education, intelligence, weather, and of course, you probably can think of pantheons that you're familiar with that have deities pertaining to air. So, using air in magical operations. Like the other elements, Earth has three manifestations: mental, astral, and physical. When used in magic and ritual, we can visualize, mental, request the use of energy, astral, or physically create air associations. Mental visualization can include wind, the movement of clouds, tornadoes, hurricanes, small dervishes, um, a summer breeze over fields. So for dervishes, I think of as like a dust devil kind of thing. A summer breeze over fields, the rustling sound of leaves, the whistling or moaning sounds in the eaves, the path of a hot air balloon, or the fill sails of a sailboat. Those are some visualizations that you might do around the air element for whatever working it is that you're hoping to accomplish. Astrally, we can use the sylphs, which is the air elemental, like the magical being associated with the air element, to pull things towards us or to push things away or simply feel the movement of air in our ritual circles. Additionally, we've got all sorts of physical operations that enhance mental astral work, including writing a message on a paper airplane and launching it. I've heard that a lot. I have never personally done it, but I do have fond memories of making paper airplanes in elementary school with my Uncle Freddie. Um, he used to make good ones. I was always so jealous. um, Letting go. So you can do the paper airplane anyway, I believe. But she says letting it go from a high or windy place. Another air magic that I've heard of often is writing something on a piece of paper and then taking it and ripping it up and letting it off a mountain. One of the most effective and wonderful spells I ever did was something like that, but with grains of paradise off of Cedar Crest in New Mexico. And I wish to find my soulmate. It's the first spell that I did that was not on a specific person. Oh, a dust devil, like a little boo, like a whirling, like a little tornado, but harmless in the desert. And it came true. There's Jesse. So, Brains of Paradise really work, very effective. So you can go to the top of a mountain, let it go from a higher windy place, writing on ribbons and tying them to trees, blowing on a spell work to fill it with the sacred breath of spirit, um, creating magical banners for protection and success and hanging them out inside or outside the home, and working with bells, singing bowls, wind instruments, or wind chime that clear and energize the air around us. Favorite incantations, invocations, and singing also exercise the magic of air. Air can also tell you if the spirits you have called have entered the area or if your spell is working while you are in circle. This especially occurs if you work out of doors. Many witches work magic during storms to increase the power they feel they need to accomplish a particular goal. If you have a storm and you have a working, very, very good energy. If you have a storm and you don't have the working, put a bowl out there, gather that rainwater, that storm water. It's also good for later. When you have a problem that needs a storm energy, you will have that energy saved up. But that's water magic, but still very good tip, especially as we get into the thunderstorm type time of year. Um, Naturally, you have to be careful because storms, as much as we love them, pose a threat to human life. Standing outside in a thunderstorm holding up a metal rod would be sheer stupidity, as would planting oneself in the path of a tornado to obtain power. But placing a 7-day candle on an enclosed back porch or by the bay window in your apartment where it could soak up the power of the storm works extremely well. Even gentle storms contain useful energy. A snow that blankets the earth can be used for protection or to slow things down if events are moving too fast. Strong winds whistling around windows can be harnessed into a candle or other physical object, which in turn may be useful in trying to move a stagnant situation along or breathe new life into an old project. Magical alphabets fall into the air category. Only your imagination becomes a limit. Air is limitless. There's so much there that you can work with. Another Hi. Another thing that I think is really good for if you have a windy day, especially if you're feeling stagnant, if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling in need of a cleanse, go out there and let that wind stand against the wind and let that wind brush against you and on you and through you. And as it crosses you, it's taking the negativity with it. It's cleansing you. It's whipping it off of you and away and gone. Gone. It's not yours anymore. So it could be good for release. It could be good for cleansing. It could be good for any number of things. I also think of your incense smoke and your smoke. My turtle is trying me, y'all. And your smoke smudge related practices have to do with air as well. So very cleansing. Um, it can be very cleansing, especially when you're trying to get rid of negativity, bad energy. Just think about when we clean the house at the end of winter and we open all the windows to just let that must out. That's what you should do. So whenever you're, if at all possible, sometimes we always have constrictions. If at all possible, you are clearing energy, you need to open a window. I saw a really funny meme where it's like bitches be smudging their room with the windows closed and the evil spirits are just running in circles. It tickled me, but it is true. If you don't have the window open, the energy that's not serving you can't get out. So you can clear the air, open the window, let it all out. Hi, Galetas. I haven't seen you. Hi, Angela. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. All right. This is another book that I really like, and they've got a little segment on some air magic stuff. I definitely will. Ooh, that's a good idea, Amber. Very good. I always go like clockwise, or no, I'm sorry, counterclockwise. I'm doing the shape, but I'm saying the wrong word. Counterclockwise, Widdershins, get it out, and then I like to go back this way with a positive smoke. So I like to go this way with a cleansing smoke like sage, and then I like to come back around clockwise with Palo Santo. Exactly. Yes, Opal Moon. That's exactly true. I agree. So I've got. It's just. I like to really share ideas. So for me, I think that the best ideas to share are from basic witchcraft books, witchcraft 101 books. I know they get a really. Oh, thank you, Galetas. I know they get a really bad rap in some communities, especially for advanced witches who have been doing it forever. And they're probably sick of reading the same crap over and over again. I get it. But when you have a book like this that has all the basic fundamentals lined up, I think it's extremely helpful to try to review something like this often, because when you're doing advanced workings and learning advanced concepts and philosophies, it's easy to forget the building blocks, and refreshing yourself with the building blocks I find rejuvenates my magic and really does that spiral. Every time you're learning, you should do a spiral. You should try to always come back to concepts, intertwine concepts with other things that are interrelated, and I feel like it really deepens your practice and helps you use it more practically. So on that note, so we got the air is the east, yellow, air, the elusive. Oh, I've never seen 90 Day Fiance. I don't have cable or anything. I have the Netflix though, and Hulu. But my son mostly watch Octonauts on it. So air, the elusive element. Air is the most elusive of the elements because it is invisible, intangible, and changeable. The ancients believed that the wind is influenced by the direction from which it originates. This idea translated into magical methods quite nicely. For example, if a wind blows from the south, it can generate passion, warmth, or enthusiasm in spellcraft. If a wind moves from the west, it stimulates intuition and imagination. We see a fair amount of directional wind work in spellcraft. For example, always scatter components in a wind moving away from you to carry your message or to take away a problem. Perform magic for new projects with the wind at your back for good fortune. When trying to quell anger, opening a window to air out the negative energy has great symbolic value. We just talked about those, so that's really good that they mentioned it. Think too of how the wind scatters pollen to fertilize plants. In a similar way, the air element describes how words are spread far and wide, fertilizing our minds and cross pollinating our societies with new ideas. Air can be gentle or fierce, damp or dry, hot or cold, and each of these moods has slightly different magical connotations. For example, a damp wind combines the power of water and air to raise energy that is dreamy and nourishing. Exactly, Leanne, but let me say something. I'm not into damp, so I think of a breeze and a humid weather as refreshing, but it can be dreamy. Characteristics of the air element. The air element relates to flexibility, instability, intellect, and detachment. Air energy moves quickly, so it's good to draw on when a situation or spell involves change, movement, or you want things to happen fast. You can also use air energy to contact spirits or other non physical beings. Magicians link the air element with mental activity, communication, the world of ideas, and social interaction. Use it for spells that involve these things. People who have a lot of air energy in their makeup tend to be friendly, curious, fickle, adaptable, idealistic, talkative, and interested in all sorts of ideas. Ooh, Oh, wonderful. That sounds like a great idea, Angela. Air correspondences. As you continue your magical studies, you'll find many things correspond to the air element, such as the direction east, but also zodiac signs Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the tarot suit of swords, the magical tools of athame and incense, the colors yellow, pale blue, and white, and the stones, all transparent stones such as aquamarine, diamond, and clear quartz. So that's basically what they have to say about air, which I think is brief and easy. This one has a whole little segment on it's magical astrology, but really they're talking about a concept that's actually really old to me, but I really like this book because it comes back in a way that's very like the spiral. Um, so the spiral is kind of a harder concept to explain. So you learn the basic steps, you learn it again a little more advanced, and then you learn it a third, fourth, fifth, subsequent times more and more advanced. And you're each time you go a little farther down the spiral, but because you're ready at that point. So we do that with nursing, and we should do that with magic if at all possible, so that you build up your foundation first, right? So basically, the concepts, a lot of the concepts, not all of them, there's always something unique in each book. Try to find it. It's really nice, even if it's just the voice is unique. Because sometimes I find that, especially regular witchcraft periodicals, they have the same people writing all the articles over and over again. And while I super enjoy this person's writing, I want to hear from lots of different witches from lots of different backgrounds who don't all say the same damn thing in different ways. Nothing against anybody, but let's really empower people to spread their words. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your practice. Even if I don't like it or agree, it still is important to acknowledge differences that really make the pagan community, the witchcraft community, like this beautiful, delicious combination, smell, taste, flavor. It's like wonderful. Let's have more of that. Anyway, I read about the concept of magic and astrology way back when in Solitary Witch and other books when I first was out on my own at 18. What I like about this is that I actually don't see it talked about that much um, in the modern periodicals that I follow. And so I wonder how many younger witchlings or newer witches know about it, but because I haven't even seen anybody talk about hourly astrology like ever. And it's basically when you figure out between the sunset and the sun times, you divide it by so many things, and those each 12-hour segment is a belongs to a different astrological energy. We don't really talk about that. I had to do that a lot when I was younger, just because I couldn't. I had a really strenuous work schedule in the military, and I couldn't necessarily follow the moon the way that I wanted to. I digress. That's really advanced concepts. My only point is saying, like, read a lot and different voices. And if you don't agree, I really challenge yourself. Why? Like, is it because of the tone? Is it because of the content? What do you actually agree? Just get curious. We need to do more bridge building as we grow. So just let me pull up this. I'm just trying to find the chapter that I was going to talk about here. And I love comments. Any comments are always super welcome. I'm trying to keep up, but I get all distracted by my own talking. Air. Sounds good. The air element encompasses the mental plane, ideas, language, and abstract thought. In astrology, psychology, and the four elements, astrologer Stephen Arroyo interprets air as the world of archetype, archetypal. I said it right the first time. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. Ideas behind the veil of the physical world. Like the wind, which is an appropriate symbol for this element, air is changeable and without form, restless and impossible to contain. Thinking makes it so. Our thought feeling forms are like seeds that, when projected into the universe, take root in the energetic matrix that links us with everything else in the cosmos and eventually grows into material forms. Therefore, one of the first and most important things we must learn in magic works is to discipline our minds. Random, careless thoughts and idle statements can affect us as well as others. The more focused and impassioned our thoughts and words are, the more power they have. And that goes back to sincerity and also the concept, and it's a little bit of an advanced concept, but it's something I absolutely believe in. Your thoughts create your reality, right? Because perception is everything. And if you perceive a situation to be negative, then you're going to feel negative about it. And if you perceive a situation to be positive, then you'll be able to glean whatever it is that is available from even a shitty situation if you look at it right. So, another really good information I feel like is that air magic is about those unseen abstract concepts. And if you really think about it, those concepts are some of the best in life. Love, it's an action and a thing, but it's also something that's not really quantifiable or physical. It's definitely an abstract concept like justice, truth, love, um, devotion, loyalty. Some of the best things in life are abstract concepts that are not exactly physical things. You do physical things to show them, but they're really abstract concepts that you feel in your heart. So harnessing that magic is available to all of us because those live in us, but it might be a little more ephemeral as you change and grow. That's wonderful, Leanne. Very good. A masculine or yang force, air is an outer directive and active element. A distinctly human energy, the air element is present in most of our interpersonal exchanges and all forms of communication. Just as seeds and pollen are picked up by the wind from one place and carried to another when they take root and grow, ideas spread and germinate among people via language and commerce. Both are air sign activities. Notice the zodiac symbols for the air signs: Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are not animals like most signs. Gemini is twins, Libra is scales, and Aquarius is a person bearing water, the water bearer. And I've never thought of that, so that's another plus for this book. So numbers 5 and 11. The shape is an upward pointing triangle with a horizontal line through the center. Individuals with an abundance of air energy in their birth charts are mentally oriented, sociable, talkative, inquisitive, detached, changeable, inventive, and often impractical. They live in a world of ideas which may or may not translate into material realities, yet their thoughts sow the seeds for future growth. Thus, they serve as intellectual avatars who inspire developments that benefit the rest of us. Air magic. We employ the air element in virtually all magic works, for it signifies the power of thought and imagination. The spoken word plays a role in many spells and rituals too. We use affirmations, incantations, prayers, and other verbal and written spells to tap into this elemental energy in magic work. Because air involves interpersonal relationships, you can use air magic to improve your connections with other people. Affirmations are short, succinct phrases that describe the condition or result you seek. They're stated in a positive way in the present tense as if the desired result already exists. I am happy, healthy, and fulfilled in all areas of my life. An incantation is an affirmation set to rhyme. The catchy phrasing and rhythm makes it easy to remember. My life is rich in every way. I am grateful every day. What are you doing, Sneaky Bear? I just want these chicks. Okay, don't take any of them from the chicks, okay? Okay. The chicks are in here with me, and now I've got a toddler. So if it gets loud, it is what it is. Other examples of air magic include visualization, chanting and singing, designing magic symbols known as sigils, which is a whole huge concept, and if you guys would like, we'll discover that in the future, but I really wanted to start with things that I did very often. Calling the quarters when casting a circle, burning incense to send messages to the spirit world, verbally invoking deities, keeping a grimory. Did you pick up the chick, baby? I don't know. Is there a chick with you? I know. What was that squeaking? I'm just Just those squeakies that come from there. Okay, be gentle with the chicks. Sorry. Um, keeping a grimoire or book of shadows, communicating physically or psychically, sorry, hanging prayer flags, working with non-physical entities that serve as ambassadors from the air element, including sylphs. And then it has an example of an air. Yeah, the chicks are over here. They're louder when somebody's um, trying to grab them. So that they have an example of an air magic spell. Oh, daddy found you. It's okay, baby. Close the door. I know. Hey, Canyon. Canyon. Dad's getting him. It's yes, the turtle is right here, scratching stuff. He's not moving furniture. He's just being a dick. He has very specific things that he likes, and quiet is one of them. So if you are talking extensively, he really likes to sit right on this corner and throw rocks, and that's the noise that you're hearing. Okay, so I think that's it for this one. I kind of got distracted. I'm really sorry. But I'm not that sorry because I've said this before, and I'm going to go ahead and preach to you guys again for anybody who's new here. I'm not sorry that my kid or my husband or my animals like interfere with this magical thing that I'm doing here because that's life. And you have to, in my opinion, be able to function magically despite hectic everyday living. If you're always saving your magic for a time when everything is perfect, you're not going to do very much of it. And so this is my life. I squeeze magic in. It's super effective. And my kids see it, and my husband is part of it. And that's how we live. And I really love it. So occasionally there's going to be chaos. I have had somebody comment that it was unprofessional. This isn't a professional production. This is just me. We're just friends having a conversation in our living room together. So there's that. Favorite book? A favorite. Llewellyn's Complete Book of Correspondences. This is a great book. I know. I know, Leanne. Um, it was fight. I didn't fight with her. I just deleted her. I blocked her. She said my son talking to me during an unboxing was unprofessional, and I was like, "Bye, Felicia." But anyway, this book is great. It has. I love it, Amber. I love it so much. So chapter 1 is a big chapter, and it's about all these issues and tensions and powers. I'm going to come back to that last. I'm going to talk about the energies related to air magic first, and then circle back to the intentions. So there it is, elements 416. I didn't have a time to mark the pages in advance. Yeah, it is a favorite of mine too. So we have air, right? Ooh, air, so exciting. We're learning so much. I love this group revision. Okay, so the symbol is again the little triangle with a line. We've already talked about the zodiac signs, solar system, Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus. Season is spring. The time is dawn. The celebration is Ostara. The Ogam is Own. The runes are Barak, Hagel, and Thorn. The direction is east. The energy is Yang or directive, masculine. The colors are light blue, gray, lavender, pink, red, silver, white, and bright light yellow. The chakras are crown, heart, and throat. The number is 5. The tarot is the Fool, Swords, and Wands, although I think of Wands as fire, but this is what the book says. Trees are, um, I think it's acacia, alder, apple, ash, aspen, cedar, chestnut, elder, elm, fir, hawthorn, hazel, holly, horse chestnut, laurel, linden, maple, mesquite, oak, olive, palm, pine, sycamore, walnut, and yew. Herbs are agrimony, anemone, bergamot, borage, broom, clover, comfrey, dandelion. We're going to come back to dandelions. Um, and laurel, which is bay, where bay leaves come from. We're going to come back to that too. Fern, ivy, lavender, lily of the valley, marjoram, marigold, mugwort, peppermint, primrose, sage, spearmint, thyme, vervain, violet, and yarrow. Other plants include anise, bamboo, bittersweet, eyebright, frankincense, goldenrod, horehound, meadowsweet, mistletoe, myrrh, nutmeg, reed, sandalwood, star anise, and wormwood. Oh, Leanne, don't worry about it. Oh, Lily of the Valley. Leanne, you shouldn't be literally water off a duck's back. I did not care. You don't like my kid, don't watch my channel. Not that he's even like really ever been on camera. He just like walks in randomly. So gemstones, agate, tree agate, ametrine, angelite, argonite, aventurine, blue lace agate, celestite, chrysoberyl, desert rose, moldavite, opal, quartz, clear quartz, sodalite, sphene, staurolite, blue topaz, and blue tourmaline. The metals are aluminum, mercury, and tin. Um, it says from the sea, angel wing and jingle. I don't know what those are. The goddesses are Amaterasu, which is the goddess of the sun in like Japanese mythology. Beautiful. Athena, Ariane Rod. I don't say that right. Sorry. Hera, Nu, which is the goddess of the sky in Egyptian mythology. And Phoebe. The gods are Hermes, Cunum, Mimir, Mercury, Quetzalcoatl, Thoth, and Zeus. Magical beings are elves, fairies, pixies, and sylphs. Angels are Michael and Raphael. Animal is gazelle. Insect is firefly. The birds are albatross, condor, eagle, falcon, hawk, or seagull. Mythical creatures include dragon, sphinx, and thunderbird. The sense of smell, which is an intensely powerful sense because your sense of smell is rooted to the most ancient part of your brain. And so deep seated memories and knowledge and emotions come from smell. So ritual tools are athame, incense, and sword. The principle is to know. Ritual tool, or excuse me, issues and intentions and powers that relate to air magic. Acceptance, action, astral realm, beginnings, business, clairvoyance, clarity, communication, concentration and focus, consecration and blessings, creativity, divination, enchantment, energy, enlightenment, fairness, freedom, harmony, healing, imagination, inspiration, intelligence, intuition, justice, knowledge, learning, life, light, loss, magic, memories, the mind, money, motivation, order, organization, power, protection, psychic ability, purification, relationships, release, the senses, including hearing, smell, and touch, shamanic work, spirit, spirituality, travel, visions, weather, general weather, but also lightning and storms, willpower, and wisdom. So that's a lot there. But what I think that I really wanted to work on for this particular spell work was wish magic. And so I'm definitely going to light a candle. And if you were going to do this spell as well, something that you can add to the spell would be a candle of the appropriate color. You can inscribe things on it. You can bless it. You could bless it with oils. Roll it with herbs, however you want. That's something that you could add to this working. Another thing that you could add to the working would be, depending on what the working is, a tarot card that aligns with it. Um, And then, of course, the trees, herbs, and plants, you can wheel those in. So for me, it is going to be a um, a wish spell based on a plant. You can do it either with bay leaves, but typically bay leaves I like to burn. So I'm definitely easy is dandelion. Find you a dandelion, make you a wish. So there's that. You can use different things for your magic because, for example, you might get a small amount of herbs that are appropriate to your intention, and you can do several things. Number one, you can gather them up, do your spell work, and then release it into the wind. There goes your spell work. You can gather them up, grind them down, and burn them as an incense, and that's still as the smoke goes. There goes your working. Or you might make yourself an air magic sachet with your working that you can smell for aromatherapy, and that would also work with your working. Gemstones and minerals and metals you could use on your altar next to your candle as you're working on whatever it is that you're, yes, whatever it is that you're working on. If you were to make that aromatherapy sachet, you could put some of the crystals in it to heighten the power. I'm not necessarily recommending blowing them off of a mountainside or burning them because they're kind of heavy. Um, you can invoke whichever air goddesses or gods that you work with, or magical deities that you work with, your animals. Maybe you want to think about butterflies as you do your air magic, or dragonflies, or fireflies, whichever one you want. Maybe you have an incense on there that's very special to this particular wish, makes you think of what you're trying to attract to you. So probably for me, it'll be the herbs, the crystal, the candle, both of those on my altar, the incense on my altar, and then the spell is going to be really simple. It's going to be a heavily super intentioned dandelion wish. So let me just, I'm pretty sure there's a specific section on wish magic. Wishes. So here's their segment on wishes: to make, grant, or help come true. The colors that relate to wish magic are red and yellow. And yellow again is good with air magic, so maybe. And dandelions are yellow, so definitely you can check that out. Gemstones are carnelian and emerald. Carnelian's really good because it really helps you get that passion and motivation to carry through with the steps that you need to get your wish fulfilled, in my personal opinion. Trees are beech, chestnut, hawthorn, hazel, holly, juniper, laurel. Remember that laurel has bay leaves. Pomegranate, which is pretty cool. Walnut and willow. Garden and herbs are basil, chamomile, dandelion, garlic, honeysuckle, lavender, sage, sunflower, and violet. All of so many of my favorites, and so good for like a yummy bath, a wish bath, a wish incense, a wish tea. Yeah, lots of ideas there. Other plants are bamboo, cinnamon. Cinnamon also adds oomph to anything. Cinquefoil, fairy wand, ginseng, horehound, and sandalwood. Again, the goddesses are Amaterasu, Anat, Ashara, Conventina, Ishtar, Lakshmi, Mauve, especially for sexual wishes, and Sarasvati. The gods are Ganesh, Helios, Mananan, Ta, and Shiva. The birds are the loon and the robin. The marine life is the crab. And the insect is the ladybug. Because I don't know about you, but if I find a ladybug, I make a wish. Yeah. Also, you can, I mean, doing a nature walk is probably totally fine too, Leanne. Honestly, with all of my animals, I don't have any dandelions. I had one dandelion and we totally plucked it and made a wish. I don't have that many in my yard because of all the animals, but there are everywhere. So this is a really good time to get out there and make some wishes. Um, so I've got a lot of ideas here. I'm going to look at my I'm gonna light an incense here. Boop, from my sacred space crate a while ago. I can't remember which month. And I'm burning a candle here from Circles in Stone by Robin. She makes nice candles and she makes good content, so check her out. Very nice. Nice size, nice smell. Very good. Getting a little too much. Yes, definitely. When your fallen eyelashes, you blow them away. Um, Circles in Stone is her shop. Oh, that's awesome. So let me put this here. Um, this planner I use as my um, day-to-day planner. But what I also like about it a lot is it talks about it gives you all the lucky days or particularly good days for attracting or finding things in the beginning of the year. So we already passed the ones for May, unfortunately, but the ones for June are coming up. So you might make a wish or set an intention that you could find a beautiful piece of wood to use for a wand or a crystal or something that you've really been wanting or whatever. And so according to this, the most lucky days coming up are June 3rd, 4th, and 5th for finding things, specifically finding things, but also um how do they put it? Let me see. So, as calculations are made during the creation of your almanac, it becomes clear that there are certain times that are well suited to specific activities. Lunar and solar forces coincide with subtle astrological and magical energies to increase the likelihood of success in many endeavors. The dates below are good fishing times. They are also excellent days to attract or draw things toward you, such as finding magical and spiritual tools in nature. If you're looking for a wand in the woods or a stone or crystal, these days will be particularly fortuitous. Hunting for crystals will be easier on these days, especially after recent rains and near the full and new moon phases. In general, these are days of prosperity, opportunities, fertility, strength, and good luck. These are also good days for travel, finding lost objects, and hunting. So, those are definitely going to be um, good days between the new moon and the waxing moon and the full moon. So, if you set an intention or make a wish, that you think can be really achieved in that time or for a very specific purpose, those days would be pretty good days to work towards it. June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that for me is pretty good information. I like to know that. I use this every day, but there's nothing in there that I'm specifically looking at for wish magic. So just for myself, I like to make a plan. And I suggest when you do a magical thing, you make a plan and you keep notes. Here's the reason. I feel like as we grow and evolve as practitioners, we it becomes very important to know which things resonate most deeply with us and which practices really harness the best results for us. Because while your correspondence book or your almanac may say that 40 different things are good herbs for prosperity, for you as a person, maybe 5 of those are really good herbs that bring prosperity to you. Because I do believe that your background and your culture and your spiritual DNA do have something to do with that. So if I'm Puerto Rican, and if I am doing a magical work for something, and my spell work has to do with something that speaks to a superstition or a practice or something that I knew or related to this working as a kid growing up, that formed the foundational knowledge that is part of all of us, then I'm more attracted to that type of thing. It's not to say that I don't gravitate towards all different things, but I believe that in reincarnation, and I believe that my spirit and my self has been many things over time. And when I find something that particularly resonates with me, regardless of what culture or tradition it's from, for me, I take that as a sign that at some point in my existence, and not just this one, but in the existence of my soul, this thing meant something for me, resonated with me, was very powerful for me, had something to do with me. And so I take those things and I put them as part of my practice. My practice is strong because of it. So all I'm saying is, whether you're a new witch or whether you've been doing it forever, the information, the basic 101 information is there to get you started, but you have to do the work. You don't have to. If you want to get better at it, you have to do the work to get better. And that means taking good notes, writing down what it is that you're doing and how you're using and how it went, so that you can say, okay, I did this wish magic and I use dandelions on this kind of day in this sign, or you can get as specific as you want. And it came true. Yay. I feel like this helped or this worked. Or I went and I made this wish and nothing happened. And then you kind of do a detective work. You say, like, was I in the mood that day? Did I use the right things for honestly? Did I really phrase my intention well? Did I whatever? And then if all of those things were still correct and the thing didn't work, then you got to do some shadow work and be like, what really went wrong with this? Am I asking for the right thing? Am I actually doing the work? Am I actually ready for the thing that I'm asking for? So keeping notes will help you grow, will help you get better, will help your magic be stronger, and will help you hone in on things that are really meant for you. And the good news is, a lot of things are meant for you. And a lot of things are going to be really powerful for you. But if you want another analogy, just think about, let's say, Harry Potter. When somebody gets a wand, they could use any wand, but if they pick a wand that is meant for them, that the ingredients resonate with them, it's immensely more powerful. And so unfortunately, we don't got no Ollivander around here helping us out. So you have to do your own work. You have to take your little notes. You have to make your 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 book of shadows entries, your grimoire pages, and you have to really investigate what's going on with your magic. Do I believe that witches forever have done this? Yes and no. Do I believe that you need to do this to be a strong witch? Yes and no. Do I believe that it's absolutely essential for myself? For the most part, yes. Because memories are fallible. I definitely do feel funny brandishing a wand if anybody else is around. I just, but I have, so to be honest, almost always, if I cast a circle, it's with my finger or it's with an incense stick or a Palo Santo, or I really enjoy doing it that way. Which I have wands, I just don't always feel authentic using them. But a staff, yes. Oh God, a staff, yes. And so it even goes to ritual tools that you feel like I don't like a chalice. I just don't. But I like a bowl a lot. And they both are good symbols for the womb and the good receptacles for water and other things. So I'm going to say lots of things. Number one, there's something for everybody. Literally, there's something for everybody. Don't be discouraged if you read a book and it says, oh, you got to have a chalice and an athame and a blah, 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 blah. And these are going to be your representations for whatever. And you don't feel like that works. I have never, ever had an athame that I felt like really just, that I used the way that it's intended. But I have had other things that I used to great effect that resonated perfectly with me. And that's really what this is about. So, Practical Magic Air, I'm going to do a wish spell. My wish spell is going to involve my breath, blowing a dandelion head into the wind. The other work that I'm going to put into this is, of course, the air work of visualization, intention, really seeing it in my head and just like charging up that little wish and getting everything in me before I blow it out into existence. And then then you have to know that it's going to happen. You've got to believe in yourself, and that really sets the tone. Other things that I'm going to do to strengthen the specific energy that I want is light a candle with some strengthening crystals for that intention on my ofrenda at the same time. So for me, rituals are not usually like start, do all the things at once, done. For me, because of my schedule and because of my life, I do, um, I'll do the dandelion spell when I'm walking with my husband and son. I will do the candle and the divination part of my new moon ritual when my son is in bed and what is the ofrenda? Oh, you mean the ofrenda? The ofrenda is my ancestor altar. Ofrenda means offering. And it's very, 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 very popular in Mexican culture for Dia de Muertos. But also, we use ours. That's just what we call the ancestor altar. And we have offerings to our ancestors there. And most of my workings exist there, especially things that pertain to our family. Or if I need family help, I always need family help. We all do. But um, no, failure's definitely a thing. And it's not really a failure. You've discovered a way that didn't work. Oh, of my ofrenda, I post it pretty regularly. I'm quite proud. I think it's very lovely. um, so here's what I would suggest. Get yourself your book of shadows, boop, title it, spell, whatever day, and then if you watch the Get Ready with Me, no, I don't think it's culturally inappropriate to love things Mexican. um, I think that if you are profiting off of Mexican culture and also advocating for children to be kept in cages on the border, then probably that is not okay. But if you like Mexicans and you like Mexican culture, I think that's totally fine. Um, Amber, I know it's so hard, struggling to find time for magic. Just fit it in. And I know that's easier said than done, but I wholeheartedly believe that the best, most wholesome magic, and that's what this Practical Magic series is about, you can do in a few minutes with the right intention. So basically, just the work that you can do now, or when you have chance over the next few days, is just say like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I need my book of shadows, I need a pen, I need a little piece of paper, and I need somewhere where I can find a dandelion. And maybe tonight I'm also going to light a blue candle, and I'm going to put a carnelian right there to really motivate me to get that thing done. And so you write a really well crafted intention and you're ready with that. And then the next time you have a chance, you have your intention, you write it on the paper, you put it underneath your candle and your crystal, and it's just kind of holding there. It's holding the energy there. And then you go for a walk with your husband and you find your dandelions and you think really hard on your intention and you make that wish and you send it out there. And then later, that same time that you have, maybe later that day, ideally, or if possible, if you have to the next day, You go back to your intention, your candle. You can dress it, anoint it, whatever you want, and really focus again on your intention. Focus on the dandelion seeds, the dandelion heads going out, spreading your wish to the divine, to the world, and all of those little dandelions that are going to grow from them. Those are the wishes that are coming true. And you don't have to do that all at once, but you got it all done. And that works for me. I have been very, very successful. And you know what? Even if you only get part of it done and you're a little bit successful, it's still more than the 0% you would be successful if you didn't get anything done because you were waiting for the perfect time. Exactly, Lori. Oh yeah, I love reading and journaling. Ooh, Lori, that sounds fun. Amber, everything's wonderful. That's one of my favorite things about this channel and about magic and about living present. Is when you're looking for it, everything is wonderful. Even in shitty times, there is still wonderful stuff. There's little baby chicks in this room with me. There's an adorable turtle. There's a sweet smelling candle. And there's like a field of dandelions just waiting for me to put my intention into them. Exactly, Angela. Progression and patience. So write yourself a plan, a little script, a little spell framework, and put it in your book of shadows. As you go through your spell framework, you might say the most basic spell, literally for this practical magic, the most basic spell is to have an intention or a wish and have a dandelion and blow it. No, I haven't, Leanne. Do you think I should? I feel like that's just because of my personality that people will either like me or not like me. It's pretty, I don't think most people are on the fence about me. So I haven't done that before. Hi, Claudia. Oh, thank you. I've never seen you before, but it's so nice. Claudia Maria 97 to see you. Thank you so much for commenting. Um, and I think that I'm open to that kind of working. Mostly this time of year, I do workings to attract the right people into my life. And that's probably what I'm going to do this time. Um, my name is under Liv. Hi, Liv. I think that that's for me, Gemini energy. It's about friendships and relationships and communication. And I like to do a annual thing about attracting more of those things to me because I'm kind of an introvert in some ways. Um, and I really feel like doing something like this is really putting your intimate self out there. And so I would love for the right people, but not just the right people. What does that even really mean? But the people who need to hear whatever it is that's coming out of my mouth, I want them to find me. So maybe they learn something. Maybe they feel less alone. Maybe they see, a Latina witch on YouTube. And there's, we're out there. I've seen some wonderful practitioners. Not that that's super important, but it might make the difference for somebody. Um, so I'm totally open to that. But I also feel like not ethical, like saying people will watch my channel and they will do this, and I'm gonna. Ugh. I don't really do it like that. I like to keep it gentle and open. Like find me friends, people who are gonna learn from me, love me, be friends with me, connect with me, enrich my life. Find me, come to me. Absolutely, Angela. That's probably the number one air magic and divination that I do. All right, cool, Claudia. Or live under Facebook and YouTube. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Indigo Moon Woman, for stopping by. So, what about singing as air magic? Absolutely, yes, Angela. Singing is air magic. Music is air magic. Chanting. I sing songs to my ofrenda, and I sing songs to my beloved dead, and I sing songs to little hit chicks that I'm trying to hatch. I believe that music is extremely powerful. So, I'm going to tell you something so personal. Um, so, one of my so for me and my husband, Everlong by the Foo Fighters is what love feels like. And in our wedding, he had it as part of his vows. And when they're talking about that feeling, so the lyrics of the song is like they're and I wonder when I sing along with you if everything could ever be this real forever. If anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'd ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. That's about, to me, very magical because they're listening to music and they're singing along in the car and they're so connected. And that's what music really does for so many people is it really connects us, right? And so I'm so embarrassed right now, but I really felt like that's a strong way to make a point. So absolutely yes, music, 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 all the time in all of my workings, in my ritual bathings, as divination, um, to express my love, feelings, frustrations, emotions, just like yes, to say that. Oh, to say that music is air magic is probably an understatement. Music is soul magic, but it is a really great expression of air magic. So I missed a whole bunch of comments. um, an ofrenda. Yes, seeing as air magic. Yes, they say plants love music and song. Exactly, babies and animals. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Indigo Moon movement. Yes, yes. Oh, so another thing I do is divination with music, which is a type of air magic. And that was something, again, I feel like divination. So, other air magic things that I was thinking of were breathing exercises, shadow work, and music. But for the energy that I feel with this new moon in my area of the world, I feel like it's very outer directive, um, as opposed to for me divination and shadow work and breathing exercises are very inner directed. Um, so when I did this video, I wanted to work on that. But I also, so for example, I have a playlist. I make a playlist every full moon bath, and the way that the order the songs play are for me divination that are telling me like a story. So that's one of the main forms of divination that I do with my ritual bathing. I do them together, and I will have to do a video explaining it because it's not complicated, but it can be if you wanted to. But it's really a divination that I don't see anybody talking about ever, and I use music playlist divination since I was like a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was in the broom closet and I didn't have access to a whole bunch of stuff. And so that was an easy way for me to do divination. And I would say, when this song comes up, that's how many months until so and so. Or sometimes I will push shuffle and I will say, the first song that comes up is how my day is going to go. And just try to absorb the messages through that. But also, I feel like the poetry in music is very much harnessing air magic and and I've got chicks peeping, and very much harnessing and putting yourself in the right mood and getting you in the right mindset for music or for magic. And yes, the frequency, the feeling, how we connect with each other. It's music is definitely one of the best magics. And I want to talk about that. I mean, we can talk about it now. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen that person. I would love to check that out because I don't think I'm the only one, but I don't think that people talk about it. So for me, let me see. I would have to look at my most recent playlist. So my most recent ritual bath playlist, how did it go? Ooh, so it was Best of You by the Foo Fighters and the I know it was Immigrant by Sade, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, God's Gonna Cut You Down by Johnny Cash, and King of Sorrow by Sade. Definitely No Ordinary Love. I love Sade when I'm bathing. It's just so Sade, the truth, so wonderful. But and that really told me like a story, like a message that's gonna happen, and I really got a lot out of that. So that's something I want to talk about in the future. But for this one, I picked Wish Magic, which I think it's spring. It's that time where we're talking about relationships and communication, and we should make wishes. We should be hopeful, given the situation. I think that's really helpful for Wish Magic. I am. It's actually so my state is actually opening up, or it opened up on the 15th, because we haven't had cases in my county for like 17 days. Um, yeah, so it could be lots of things for your wish magic. You could do bay laurel. So write your wish on bay laurel. You could also do. I've done grains of paradise very effectively. Um, but that's my main plan. Is to the most basic things that you need for this spell is an intention and a dandelion. Other things that I would recommend to you are Book of Shadows, um, a writing implement, a parchment or something to write your intention on. I like to write my intention on a parchment and seal it up in an envelope and revisit it on the full moon of this sign. So that's going to be November 30th, which is the full moon in Gemini. Other things that I would recommend for this working that you can add would be a candle, herbs. Maybe you wore, um, maybe you have a sigil or an amulet that particularly resonates. All of those things would strengthen and work cohesively to get this wish um, out there and a strong foundation. Because I think that the wish part, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, and I'm going to talk about it ad nauseum in the future because I don't think we talk about it enough. The wish part, the magical working part, is just the spark. The work that you do to make this happen for you, that's the real thing that's going to make it happen. The magic is just lining things up for you. So I noticed baby animals and pregnant women during this time. Exactly. It's that time. There's definitely babies like in this room with me. Um, there's a lot of creativity waiting to be birthed. I got really distracted. I think I've read all the stuff about the air element. I've talked about the practical magic that I'm doing. Let me just review my notes really quick. So, the energy of the particular day that we're looking at is going to be the sun in Gemini, and there's going to be quite a few retrograde planets. So, communication is going to be really challenged, by the energies that are, different than normal at this time. So really, um, if you wanted to do a different type of air magic, any type would be totally appropriate. But especially appropriate in Gemini season is communication, and especially challenging during retrograde season is communication. So maybe working um, to give you something to make possibly even tangible to remind you. So maybe a sachet or sigil or something you could enchant to carry with you to remember. Hi, Trish. So La Luna, of course, is going to be the new moon in Gemini. The We're transitioning from Beltane to Litha, and we're getting close. We still maybe halfway there. We got about a month left. Yeah, I'm so glad you made it, Trish. And so, having nothing to do with earth magic, but something I highly recommend to you guys is I've been working this, and it's long working because obviously the wheel of the year is a whole year long. I've been working to really connect with nature in my um, land, my area. And so I encourage you to rethink the wheel of the year and just kind of notice what's happening in your given Sabbath time and taking notes. So I've been doing that. I've got my workings. I think I've beaten the horse to death about the making sure that you're tracking your rituals, tracking your divination for sure, especially if you're wanting to intensify the um, the quality of your readings and the depth of your intuition. Really journaling, which is another air magic thing, all writing, but particularly divination is an air magic. Um, it's ruled by air magic partially. Obviously, there's other parts to it, but any communication, including divination, which I believe is um, universal deity, spirit guide, ancestor messages coming to you. But also, I also believe subconscious messages because most of the time, the way that thank you, Indigo Moon Woman, thank you for coming. Thank you. Have a good night as well. I think that those those are divination is a bridge from the unspoken places to the conscious place, right? Whether that be spirit guide or subconscious. So I encourage you to write and journal about that, and you can really connect with your intuition, deepen your practice, and really get it moving there. So I get distracted. I'm so sorry. So for just so I can paint a more complete picture about what's going to be happening, is that on the new moon, I've got all my resources, I've got my idea, I've got an intention brewing in my head. I know the energies. I'm ready. And so I have my tools set out here because like I said, I work on Friday. And so I've got to make this happen in the context of still having to work. So preparation really helps me. Is it spontaneous? Not really. Um, is it good quality magic? Hell yes. So, whatever, especially if you have constrictions on your time, I highly advocate for preparation and planning. So, even if you have to do something off the cuff, you still have an idea of like what kind of working you're going to do and how you might make that happen. But literally, dandelion wishes are something that you can do all the time, anytime that there are dandelions. Um, for any intention, for any time that you think of it. But at least you will have this backup information about correspondences and energy to kind of help you with that working. The divination is always the last thing of the night for me. I have my Book of Shadows, my pen, my parchment, and my envelope, and my decks all set up. The only thing missing right now is my candle, crystal, and my dandelions, which of course I will pick those up. The dandelion has to be fresh. There's no faking that, in my opinion. You can definitely save the fluff, which absolutely works as well. I have a beautiful um, little vial full of dandelion fluff, and that's totally accurate way to do that as well. But for me, it's going to be an activity probably with my family because my son loves making wishes on dandelions, and of course journaling. So the way it'll probably go for me is I'll get off later in the evening. Hopefully it'll be a nice evening. I'm going to try to um, kind of scope out if there's any dandelions that haven't been eaten on my property, to scope those out. And if they are, yes, great, wonderful, we'll use those. And if they're not, then we're going to have to go to a park. And that's kind of challenging given the current environment, but I think we'll totally make it happen. Do I have a favorite subscription box? That's such a challenging question. And I think it really depends on the month. But I will say that I love the Witch's Moon. I've been getting them for 2 years or more. I can't remember anymore. Um, so I love those boxes. I love Sugar Muses as well. I've been getting them for as long as I can possibly remember as well. So not as long as I can remember. For the same amount of time as the Witch's Moon. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of feeling tired and fuzzy at this point. So hey, it's probably as long as I can remember. um, I love Tame Wild, their wild medicine box, but they stopped making them. But a Sacred Space crate makes really good items. And also they have that wild medicine aspect with like different salves and stuff. I love that. So I'm going to say those are probably my favorite boxes at the moment. And anytime Marie at Anita Apothecary releases anything, any box, she's amazing. She's probably my number one favorite. But I don't really consider her a subscription box per se because she doesn't do it regularly. She does it when it happens for her. But if you can get your hands on one, I have never been disappointed. And who eats the dandelions? I don't know if they get stomped, mowed. Chickens, oh, geese and ducks totally eat all grasses. I forgot about those guys. And I've got eight geese and 8 ducks, so they also do that too. Oh yeah. And so I have my intention ready to go. Yeah, Anita Apothecary is wonderful. I have my intention ready to go. And when I get off work, we'll find some dandelions. I will think in my little heart with all of my energy about blowing that wish into being. I will forget something important, Leanne? Let me think. Did I forget something important? I don't know. Maybe I did. Sorry if I forgot somebody's box. I'm sorry. I probably love it. um, so then I will go inside. I'll write my intention on parchment. I'll put it in an envelope. Put the envelope underneath my normal area where I will put my crystal and my candle, and it will burn while I do my divination, and then I will go to bed and seal it. If I have any particularly good dreams, I will write it down. And basically, that will be my practical magic for air. Ooh, I have some other things. Affirmations, words, music, breath, wind, communication, writing, intelligence, and the mind. Oh, you can do wish magic with bubbles. So I forgot about that. I wanted to talk about that. You can blow them into bubbles and set them out into the universe as well. That's a really good one. Write a spell and let it blow away. smudge, burning incense, storm magic, feather magic, and song. Trish, some exercises for you to remember your dreams if you want to. Number one is to keep your book and the writing implement right next to bed. Number two is to tell yourself while you're falling asleep, I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. And then the first thing you wake up before you do anything, even if you just remember a feeling or like a little tiny bit of the dream, write it down. Your brain will get better at it, at remembering what it is. And so it's really hard for my husband to remember his dreams, but I will try to ask him really, like when he's still groggy and sleepy, like what did you dream? Who was there? What were the colors? What did you feel? The first thing you should write when you're writing down your dreams is what was said, because that is the first thing you're going to forget. The feeling will stay with you for a while. If a dream made you sad, scared, hurt, whatever, that will stay with you. It will linger. But the words that were actually said in your dream are really important and they go very fast. Another thing that's really nice to notice is, was it a daytime dream or was it a nighttime dream? And nighttime dreams for me symbolize subconscious issues that I'm working through, and daytime dreams are things that have to do with my frontal cortex, things that I know but I'm working through. Um, Another important thing is, like, were any of my dead or people I used to know in there? I believe that those are always messengers. Um, how was I in the dream? Um, what was the like dynamics? What was the energies? No worries, Trish. It might not work. My husband still has a hard time unless you catch him right away. And even I have a hard time, and I've been doing it since I was a kid. Hi, baby. Are you guys ready to? All right. How's the chickies? Why is he crying? He's playing with a dog. Oh. Okay. My husband popped in. Sorry. Can you turn the eggs? Okay. Um, so even with practicing this for a very long time, sometimes if I'm jarred awake or if I don't write my dream down quick enough, if I look at the phone especially, or just like if I wake up late and I have to move and get on with my day, I lose it. No, I wish I had an incubator, then we wouldn't have to turn the dang eggs. What happened was I had a hen that was setting on eggs, and she had one chick, and the chick fell out of the nest, and she followed it, and she left the other ones. So we're like, well, my husband, who is a saint, brought them inside, and yes, both. I have a heat lamp on the eggs and the chickies. My husband brought them inside, and we decided to candle them. He put a heat lamp on them. We candled them, and right when we were candling the first one, he popped his little face out. Whoop. And so we're like, oh, these are totally. These are, most of them were embryos, and so we are trying. He just turned the. Hold on one second. He turned the fan on, and I have little chicks here that should not be that cold. What the heck? I think that'll turn it off. Oh, Sarah, you want to be sleeping? Okay. Sorry about that. So they're little embryos and tons of them. So we don't have an incubator, and basically we have them under a heat lamp. And what Mama does is turn them. So you have to keep it kind of humid and turn them. So I have a marking on one side, and I turn it so the marking's down. And then an hour or so later, I turn it before bed. My husband got up and peed in the middle of the night, so he did it in the middle of the night. I did it first thing when I got up to pee. Like, it's a lot. So hopefully they'll be born. But usually that she's been sitting on them for a while. But part of the problem is that chickens lay eggs under other chickens. Yeah, I do. I have 10 baby chicks in the house right now, and I have about 12 eggs. Then I got 16 at my mother-in-law's house, one outside, and a gosling on the porch. So that's what's been happening with me. This is why instead of making a video, which I had intended to do, I made a live, and it was really great because I feel like we've had a good conversation. I hope that we've all, like, if not learned something, reviewed something, and maybe heard a different perspective. Um, well, Trish, that's a great place to start. I love chickens. Um, and we've been doing this for a long time. And we used to have tons of chickens, but last year a coyote came and cleaned out my flock. So this year we are raising some more chicks, and hopefully all will be well. Because we have a little fence now, and my husband routinely walks it and pees on it. And it's so far it's been successful. We did have to kill the coyote, so that sucks. Sometimes he sometimes does. He doesn't identify as a witch. We're definitely eclectic pagan, for sure. All of us. I guess I say all of us, but my son, I mean, you can't really label a kid. They don't know. He's definitely got some witchy tendencies. He's so cute. He has so many rocks and sticks collected. I'm like, oh, bless your heart. um, but both of us, mommy and daddy, are magpies. Um, so yes, sometimes, especially certain types of magic, you kind of need a partner. So, like Beltane magic, a lot of it requires a partner, and so he's usually a pretty willing participant. But we also pray at our ofrenda together as a family, often. So, and he definitely helps me maintain it, and the um, the praying, the asking for advice, the remembering our ancestors. Sometimes he'll light it, sometimes I'll light it. We both, um, I will almost always do the flowers and the food offering, and the water, and he will always do the coffee because I don't do coffee, so he makes it. Um, and we both contribute to it. And he will find things for me and bring them to me, and he will help me with everything. And he really does the devotional work, as magical stewards of this property. He really does. Like, he does the work to keep the bad things away. So, yeah. Yes. Oh, Trish. Yes, my son brings me brings me everything. And so does my husband. They both do. They bring mama rocks from everywhere. I have tons of rocks from my boys. Um, I am really lucky. I am really lucky. Um, I'm super blessed. I'm not going to say that we don't agree. We definitely have lots of conversations philosophically and spiritually. And as a Scorpio, we both agree that legacies and ancestral work really ties into legacies, and really how vital legacies are. Um, so, I mean, yes, I am lucky. My turtle is passive aggressive over here. And I'm really lucky for my husband and my son and basically everything that I have. Thank you, ancestors. I saw a really cool meme, witchcraft meme, and it says, "You are the result of 1,000 loves," and that really moved me, because I feel like Beltane and Samhain are um, both ancestral, good times to honor your ancestors because the veil is thin. And so for Beltane, we really did the thing of like being really grateful for everything, all the love and the devotion, the dedication and the sacrifice that your ancestors and your beloved dead and your family members have put into everything that you have. Um, that's what we focus on, and in Samhain we focus on um, basically that as well. But on the Beltane, it feels more like love and like look how like this is everything we have is because of our parents and our grandparents and ancestors, and they're always looking out for us. And Beltane is a celebration of life, and that's the life that you were given, and the tools that you started with were can come from there. I mean, some people are not so lucky. Although I do believe that everybody has ancestors somewhere that are looking out for them. Connecting with them is not something we're used to anymore, but I really hope that we bring that back. um, Samhain is the same because it's really a harvest festival, and so that's the gratitude for everything that you have. So both of those. Exactly, Angela. I could not agree more. Ancestor work has been the best thing that ever happened to me. Yes, Trish. Also, it's really, just really, so great. I love it. I love it. um, so I hope you guys learned a little about air magic. I hope maybe you got some ideas on some work that you could do around air magic. And I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did, and that you got good information that will help you, and that you will come back and enjoy my lives and my other educational offerings in the future. I'm trying to really put more of that out there to share more of that with you guys. And of course, I want to take this opportunity really quick before we end. You're welcome, Amber. I want to take this opportunity before we end really, really, really quick. I'm sorry I'm talking so much, to just give you some things to expect in the future from this channel. Thank you, Leanne. Um, so next weekend should be a special live, and stay tuned for an announcement about that. The 31st will be a get ready with me for the full moon in Sagittarius. You're welcome, Trish. This is the Practical Magic Air. There will be the side-by-side review of the boxes under $20 coming up. There will be a giveaway coming up. There will be an episode of Waste Not Want Not coming up, and it's going to focus on boxes and all the things that we can do with boxes, because there's so many things to do with boxes. um, I did a poll about what you guys want to see on this channel, and you said more boxes. So I'm going to be doing the next step up. So this first side by side is going to be boxes $20 and under. I've already done them, most of them already. So the next one is going to be boxes that cost $20 to $29, or under $30. $20 to under $30 will be the next group. Spoiler alert, there's only like 5. So maybe 6, depending on how you look at it. And I'm talking about to your door. So that's important to me. That will be coming up. And of course, the monthly side-by-side, I have the Moon Box by Gaia Collective that I got. That unboxing should be coming out sometime soon. And a whole bunch of deck reviews, because I have so many decks that I haven't walked through, and that is super helpful for me to pick. And so I want to get that up on my channel for you guys to enjoy as well. Let me see. I have one more little thing that I have to look at. Sorry, I have planners because I write so much. I fill them up. I'm going to start organizing my, so this will probably not be a video, but it'll come up on my Instagram. And it's going to be, I'm going to organize my ritual oils and sprays. And I'm probably going to talk about how I'm going to repurpose those. And so stay tuned for that. I'm also working on a website. And as soon as that's functional, I promise I will tell you guys. And that's really packing it in there for the end of May. And then again, a lot of the things start over in June. So thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, I'm so grateful that we got to connect today. I'm just going to look at the notes really quick. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've got to go and cook dinner, and then turn eggs, and then eat dinner, and then turn eggs, and then so on and so forth for eternity. Tomorrow tomorrow's my market day. So I'm really excited about that. If you guys like this content, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, let your friends know. Come and join my Facebook page and my group so it can grow and we can grow together. And if you have ideas for things that you want to see from me in the future, please leave it in the comments. Love you guys so much. Take care of yourself. This is the dark moon, so really shadow work, cleansing, banishing, smudging yourself in your house. Get all that shit that doesn't serve you out the door so you can let in the wonderful stuff with the new moon. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I never know how long this is going to